Good morning and welcome to the 29th annual exhibit of hydrogen and fuel cell technology. We always get excited when we have companies here who try to do so much for this field. We need hydrogen, we need green hydrogen, we need to be able to distribute it, we need to be able to refuel vehicles, and there are certain companies here that address a broad spectrum of services that are necessary for the expansion of the hydrogen economy. Up next on stage, I'll be talking to Florian Tudor, who's head of sales at Metacon, and the subject of our talk will be the Metacon Group, the Swedish supplier of turnkey hydrogen systems and project development services. Please welcome with me Florian Tudor.
Thank you, Brian.
So good morning, Florian. For those who are not in the know or haven't been to Sweden recently, could you tell us a bit about Metacon, where you are, when you were founded, and the size?
Sure. If you plan to come to Sweden, it's a good time from now onwards. It's a different country. Very nice. You are welcome. So we are a Swedish-based company. Metacon has the headquarters in Örebro, but we have multiple presence in Sweden and in Europe as well.
Really, we're going to be discussing four technologies, one after the other, and this is just a general introduction to how overlapping and how important they all are. So there are the reformer technologies, the small combined heat and power systems, which can be super efficient. There are the electrolyzer technologies you offer, and then the refueling stations. Let's start with the reformers, and I have to start with a historical observation. Reformer technology used to be exclusively steam reforming, for example. We would be using large quantities of natural gas, which is kind of nasty. And by the way, it's been curtailed. We don't get it from Russia anymore. The reforming technology is almost not present on the fair. There used to be a huge presence here. Now it's electrolyzers. And suddenly we see the return of reformers for industrial hydrogen. Can you tell us a bit about your strategy, and welcome back, reformers?
Exactly. You mentioned about some historical points, and I have to mention Metacon started in 2011. It was when the company was founded, and the base of the foundation of the company was the reforming technology. So we started with developing a catalytic steam reformer. We are currently manufacturer of these systems and components. Meanwhile, we have developed and we became a pan-European / global company. We have a presence here in Germany. We have a daughter company in Greece where we are developing the steam reformers. And with the University of Patras, we collaborated very well, as well a company in Japan, and as I said, now we are a global presence. I mentioned that because, yes, reformers had a up and down history, but we are in Germany, and if we look now at just the biogas supply and the biogas production, you see that 60–70% of biogas producers in Europe are located in Germany. And if biogas as an alternative fuel until recently was used to be like a fuel to burn or to have traditional usage, now our technology is to convert that into hydrogen, is to do that with a clean process without adding any carbon to the process, with an extremely compact design. And we are operating already pilot projects for years, and we have orders and contracts in development with this. What I can mention that a technology like ours, it's a multi-source, multi-fuel technology. So biogas, I just mentioned, any kind of hydrocarbon that contains methane, syngas, ethanol, any source can be funneled through this technology and to result hydrogen. In terms of color rainbow that everybody's talking, I think we can aim for the blue hydrogen to qualify it like that, because we can also capture the carbon, that the CO2 in particular, that is resulted in the process.
And of course, the glorious aspect of the fact that the biogas is already there, and the additional benefit, what is more efficient, burning the biogas or using it after running it through a reformer as a source of hydrogen? That's an easy answer, isn't it?
Yes, but I always want to channel this focus on the right place, in my perspective. Efficient, if you look at the cost per kilogram, kilowatt, kilometer, whatever, it's not fair to compare with traditional means. What is efficient and clean? That is the question. And then it's, I know we are in the middle of our colleagues in the industry. Everybody believes in hydrogen, but there are also numbers to prove that via hydrogen, this is the best usage, including of the biogas.
Yeah, it's an economic proposition.
It is, and we are, our company is delivering turnkey solutions. So we are not an equipment manufacturer. On the contrary, we are integrating various equipments in the projects for our customers. And we are close to the mindset of the customer, and we are looking at the applications. This is, we are a sales organization based on our own technology. And if you just take a simple application of a farm, medium, small, large, doesn't matter. The biomass is there. The potential pollution is there, methane emission, which is 80 times more harmful for the environment. We take this existing and excess resource, and we can turn it down to the filling it into the passenger car or the truck that the customer might use in the very, very near future.
So on to the next product group, small combined heat and power systems. I always spell out what CHP is because there's an efficiency proposition there.
Yes.
Can you describe what systems you offer?
Well, these are small applications that has near domestic usage. Near means for small buildings, or could be schools, kindergartens, where again the source has to be in the same direction, in the same description I used earlier, because we are using the same technology. So converting hydrocarbon into, in these units, electricity and heat via hydrogen/fuel cell. This is a very compact unit, is in the process to be launched for large sales, but this is one unit that is attracting a lot of attention because it has broader usage than the industrial hydrogen generator.
And so the apps you let the consumer define. It's a turnkey unit, and whatever they need, they order from you. And
we have again farmers that are qualifying as a user for that. We have automotive service or showrooms. We have small hotels or motels, pensions, this kind of units.
Okay, interesting. We're on to the field that has become the upside of the fair. Why we are expanding. Most of the real estate here is occupied by electrolysis at the fair here. You do electrolyzers. Could you describe what ones, what type of technology you use, and what type of electrolysis units you provide?
Yes, we can make a very big difference between what we produce in terms of steam reformers and what we are integrating as a project supplier in electrolyzer range. We have PEM technology that we integrate, while our major focus is on alkaline, because this is where we can offer from systems from 0.25 megawatt to hundreds of megawatt. I would highlight that the fact that we are very competitive in offering large systems, and we have already large projects in development in our portfolio.
And finally, on to the refueling stations. People talk a lot about the logistics of using renewable energy. To store it, really, there's no way around hydrogen these days. We're turning wind turbines off in Germany because we don't know how to absorb the energy into the grid. So we really need hydrogen. Therefore, we need electrolyzers. But we need also to distribute things, and we don't really have enough tech for the distribution side. You provide refueling stations. Is there a large business model there? Is it growing? And first, describe your refueling stations and the type of services you provide there.
Exactly. We are offering from compact containerized units of 10, 15 kilograms per day. This is more like test and demo units, up to full-size scale systems of 3,500 kilograms per day, both 350 and 700 bar for delivery to the vehicles, to the fuel cell vehicles, and having in mind our orientation for turnkey solution, we have standalone stations that can take over third-party supply hydrogen from tubes or pipes or other supply. And as well, we have integrated units where we design, upon the request of the customer, we design backwards exactly what he needs in terms of delivery, storage, production, and using either reformers or electrolyzer to produce exactly the quantity of hydrogen that the station requires on that spot.
Do you have a sense of where the consumer market is for refueling stations? We get the general idea that the first large market is going to be for back-to-base vehicles, they call it. That is, like, buses go back to the same home, trucks that deliver in a city distribute whatever goods they have to distribute and return to the base. And these are very easy to service because you have one refueling station, which is a capital expenditure, but you can rely on the number of vehicles that need refueling as opposed to a hydrogen fueling station on a highway somewhere for consumer vehicles. Where is the market? Where is it growing?
Brian, I personally come from automotive industry. I worked 20 years in that field, and I remember very clearly when electric vehicles were a topic. Like 10, 15 years ago, it was very exotic science fiction. Now, in terms of hydrogen, I can point out that we do not support the idea this is a silver bullet and universal solution for everything. In particular, in transportation, mobility. Hydrogen is here to complete, in our view, and our vision is to complete the whole energetic circle. So, if we are to talk about mobility, yes, specific routes, inner city, and many other applications, maybe majority of it will go very well with battery. But they are large transporters, they are transatlantic or transoceanic ships where carrying batteries is not really the solution, and where the fuel cell mobility will take place. I think that the European Union focus to install refueling station on the main routes of Europe is the right focus for everybody. Will be a lot of work to do from everybody here 10 times more, because there is a lot to supply. And as a market, yes, I think we are at the beginning. We are like 10 years ago with the electric vehicles for everybody to make a difference.
One of our first success stories for fuel cells actually it was in the materials handling field. And the proposition there, it always has to be an economic proposition. This is not simply clean tech. It was that you could buy 3 electric forklift trucks because that's how long it takes to recharge them. And these facilities operate 24/7. Or you could buy 1 fuel cell operated forklift truck. And of course, they often integrate batteries. Batteries don't like to be drained down to zero.
Definitely
Batteries
not.
don't like to be overcharged. And if you integrate them with a fuel cell, It's a wonderful proposition. I don't know whether you have any applications like that. I think that we are ill-informed about what is the potential market for refueling stations. So I'm always looking for extra information from people who have already marketed some or are marketing them right now because they know the clients who have this economic proposition. Are there any surprises there?
Well, yes, I can mention that we have delivered two small-size refueling stations in Slovakia. We have a good partner and a very good customer there. And this transport company is ordering 120 fuel cell trucks for this. Of course, I don't think that Slovakia is the only market for the whole European transport market. And that's a surprise because this transporter is a very forward thinker. He already ordered these two units to plant it in his own facilities just to be there ready until we move with the European Commission and everybody else to put everywhere on the European roads. So yes, there are surprises here and there. We are working in Sweden in three parallel projects with installing refueling stations. And we have in almost every European region, I don't say country, but in almost every European region we have projects under development.
I have to, sort of in closing, ask a question about the company mission here. You mentioned the origins of the company in energy technology, but during our conversation we give the impression that it's really sort of, it's green tech. And the shift in technologies in general often is indicative either of real political pressures or the economics or a company philosophy. A company philosophy which could mean we're willing to deal humbly with small revenue flows. What is the approach at Metacon? What company mission do you have there?
From now on, we can talk another half an hour, but I know we will wrap up in a few seconds. Because we are a company that in the process we are closest to the customer. We are gathering information of their necessity, we are designing, developing, dimensioning the equipment, and we are delivering turnkey solution in the hydrogen sector. What I can say that we are very fast in offering and giving a first idea of the budget. We are very fast. We can commission complete system in 12 months, which is, or depending even less, it's quite competitive, and the real customers know what we are talking about. And our goal is to provide, we are maybe a small Swedish company, but we want to take our technology and other existing technologies and make it available to every need of the customer, if possible, global. We have global ambitions. For the moment, we are covering Europe, and we are looking forward.
Well, that sounds like a great point to pause on. We could go on for a long time, but time is of the essence here. I've been talking to Florian Tudor, who's head of sales at Metacon, about the Metacon Group. We do hope to see you back here next year with another success story and more on your company philosophy.
We will. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you, Florian.
Thank you.
And thank you.